The trade war between the United States and China has escalated dramatically. In a matter of days, tariffs have skyrocketed, signaling a deepening conflict with no end in sight. This latest chapter in the trade war began with the US imposing a 54% tariff on a wide range of Chinese imports. China quickly retaliated with its own tariffs. Then the US increased tariffs again, this time to 104%. China again responded, raising tariffs on all US goods to 84%. The situation further intensified when the US, in a move that shocked economists and businesses, increased tariffs to a staggering 125%. These rapid-fire tariff hikes have sent shockwaves through the global economy. Businesses are grappling with uncertainty. Financial markets are on edge. The Trump administration argues that these tariffs are justified. They claim China engages in unfair trade practices, stealing intellectual property and manipulating its currency. However, critics argue that these tariffs are counterproductive. They say that the tariffs will harm American businesses and consumers more than they will hurt China. Adding fuel to the fire, the US excluded China from a temporary tariff reprieve granted to other countries, including Canada. This move further isolates China and suggests that the US is prepared to escalate the trade war even further. The situation remains fluid, with each side seemingly determined to stand its ground. The world watches with bated breath, uncertain of what the ultimate cost of this trade war will be. The escalating trade war carries significant economic consequences for both the United States and China. In the US, consumers are likely to bear the brunt of the tariffs. The tariffs will make Chinese goods more expensive, potentially leading to higher prices for everything from clothing and electronics to cars and appliances. Some experts estimate that these tariffs could cost the average American household hundreds of dollars per year. American businesses will also feel the pain. Companies that rely on Chinese imports will face higher costs, which could lead to lower profits, job losses, or even bankruptcy. China too will suffer economic consequences from the trade war. China is a major exporter to the United States, and the tariffs will make Chinese goods less competitive in the US market. This could lead to a decline in Chinese exports, which could hurt Chinese businesses and lead to job losses. The trade war also threatens to disrupt global supply chains. Many companies rely on components and materials from both China and the United States to manufacture their products. The tariffs and uncertainty created by the trade war could force these companies to rethink their supply chains, potentially leading to higher costs and delays. China views the US's actions in the trade war as aggressive and unfair. Chinese officials have accused the US of unilateral bullying and acting like an empire seeking to impose its will on other countries. They argue that the US is trying to contain China's rise as a global economic power, and that the trade war is just one tool in this strategy. China has repeatedly stated that it does not want a trade war. However, it has also made it clear that it will not back down from a fight. China believes it has the economic strength and resilience to withstand US pressure. China also believes that it has the moral high ground in this dispute. It argues that the US is violating international trade rules and norms by imposing tariffs unilaterally. China has appealed to the World Trade Organization to resolve the dispute. However, the WTO's dispute settlement system has been weakened in recent years, and it is unclear whether it will be able to effectively address the US-China trade war. As tensions between the United States and China continue to escalate, the global trade order is facing unprecedented challenges. These two economic giants are not only affecting each other, but also causing ripples across the world economy. Tariffs, sanctions, and trade barriers are becoming the new norm, disrupting supply chains and impacting international markets. The question now is, how will the rest of the world navigate this turbulent landscape? In response to the ongoing trade war, both the United States and China are developing strategies for a long-term confrontation. The United States is focusing on diversifying its supply chains and investing in domestic industries to reduce dependence on Chinese imports. On the other hand, China is looking to strengthen its own technological and industrial capabilities, aiming for greater self-reliance. Both nations are also seeking new trade partnerships to offset the economic impact of their strained relationship. It's a complex chess game, with high stakes for both sides. Experts are divided on how this trade conflict will unfold in the coming years. Some believe that cooler heads will prevail, leading to a negotiated settlement that could restore some level of stability. Others predict a prolonged struggle with both nations digging in their heels and preparing for a drawn-out economic battle. One thing is clear: the outcome of this trade war will have far-reaching implications not just for the United States and China, but for the entire global economy. As we look to the future, the world watches closely, waiting to see what will happen next.